You're watching Auto Johnny.
You have a dog?
Yeah, and it's awesome. What's up, internet? I'm Auto Johnny, and welcome back to part 2 of Superman. Now, I talked about the history, the cast, production, and my thoughts on the first teaser. And in this video, we'll be talking about the rest of the news, as well as the discussion around it, which is just so normal. Yep, just perfectly normal. It's not like there's any particular fan base that's making it just a pain to talk about. But we'll get to that. Either way, in this episode, the information will be coming at you like a speeding bullet. I myself will be more powerful than a locomotive in the way I present this. And in fact, you'll be so engaged that you'll be able to leap a building in a single bound.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This is Let's Talk About Superman Part 2. Now, the film will start its marketing in February 2025. Now, the plan was that they were going to do the same marketing tactics as they did with Barbie, but outside of some photos here and there, things were pretty much quiet. That was until March 11th of 2025, where they announced that footage would be expected at CinemaCon on April 1st. Then when April 1st came around, Warner Bros. Would showcase extended footage and behind the scenes footage of Superman at CinemaCon. The extended footage would be available publicly at first in front of the Minecraft movie and then online. Now, the footage would start off like the previous teaser trailer, with Superman crashing into the crater, where he would call Krypto afterwards. And oh, look at Krypto. He's such a... Ooh, ow, ow. Krypto. Okay. I mean, I get it. It's funny. And Krypto, as a dog, probably thinks that Superman is pretty much playing right now, so which is why he's finally like that. And between this and a later clip featuring Krypto nipping at Superman's heels, yeah, I can definitely see how Krypto is not a good boy. But who can say mad at this puppy? Aw, look at him. I want to give him all the pets. Anyways, Krypto drags Superman to the Fortress of Solitude, which still looks cool, by the way. Then Superman's robots pick him up and put Supes in a stretcher, I think, and fire a device that shoots focused sunlight at Supes, allowing him to heal. And this healing process was pretty painful, by the way. Then we get a montage of moments from the first teaser trailer. Overall, it looks pretty good. The same goes for the behind the scenes footage, which released 2 weeks later on Superman Day. Now, I find this video in particular very interesting because I like the behind the scenes stuff. After all, this is what this show is about. You also get to see how they depict Superman's hope and how they depict him as a good man. What's also interesting is that we get a glimpse of the practical effects that they're using for the Superman robots and our first look at Metamorpho. Then on May 14th, 2025, we got the official trailer. Now, I made a short video discussing my initial thoughts on this trailer a while back, and even now I still love this trailer. I love the whole interview setup at the beginning. It really shows Lois and Clark's dynamic. For one thing, it confirms that Clark and Lois are in a relationship and that Lois knows that Clark is Superman. It also shows some conflict in their relationship through this interview, as Lois is uncompromised in her journalism and is willing to grill Clark, while as Clark, who is in love with her, can't help but feel that this is too personal for him when she questions him, which is why he gets so frustrated in this trailer. As a result, we get these reactions.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
I also want to look at this reaction a bit more, because to me, it's not just Clark getting frustrated at Lois. It shows that Clark that doesn't really care about sides. All he cares about is that people are going to die. To me, this shows that he really cares about doing the right thing, and it comes off as so pure in his intentions. I still love that scene where that citizen helps Soups out of that crater, as well as that next scene, because, oh my god, Soups actually has a personality.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Then there's the scenes where Lex and his goons break into the Fortress of Solitude, which is pretty cool, and Crypto attacking the engineer is great every time. However, I would like to expand that whole scene with Martha, because when I first saw the original trailer, I thought Martha was going to be dead. After all, we didn't see her, and I'm so glad that I was wrong. Also, it's great to see Pa Kent alive and well, since in most film adaptation, Pa is dead. Also, on multiple viewings, I've noticed that when Soups is in the cell with Metamorpho, you can see that Metamorpho's hand is glowing. Now in the comics, he has the power to transform his body into a range of different elements, which includes solid, liquids, and gas. So to me, and what's later confirmed in a TV spot, is that he is able to turn his hand into kryptonite, and thus explains why these guys are able to capture and beat up Superman. Also, on a side note, Metamorpho looks really cool in this trailer. Also, throughout this trailer, Lex keeps on showing moments on how he is Superman's biggest hater. But either way, this is pretty much a really good trailer. In fact, I would consider this one of the best trailers. Or at least it was until we got a new trailer on June 11th. And hey, look at that. I made another short talking about this trailer as well. And yeah, I consider it one of the best of the new Superman trailers. First of all, it's epic. The opening start with Lex's speech pretty much confirms him as Superman's biggest hater. Then the rest of the trailer shows Superman being awesome, like when he punches that one dude and you see his teeth come flying out and actually bounce off the screen, or when he uses his heat vision to spin around against these guys, which thanks to the children's book Superman Friends and Foe, yes really, they are called Raptors, and to quote, Lex uses his highly advanced soldiers called Raptors to fight Superman and advance his criminal schemes. And watching this multiple times, you can also see some hidden details, like you see Crypto in the fight with the Raptors, or when Superman is in that void being saved by Metamorpho's tendrils. At the same time, you can actually see Soups holding a baby, which once again, thanks to Superman Friends and Foes, is Metamorpho's son, baby Joey, which is why I'm 99% sure why Metamorpho is harming Superman with his kryptonite hand. We also see Lois and the Daily Planet team on a flying ship, which might be Mr. Terrific's, and I'm only saying that because we've seen this ship in other trailers with Mr. Terrific alongside it. Speaking of, I realize I haven't really talked much about Mr. Terrific, and that's only because I'm not really familiar with his character. Like, I know a few things, like he's super smart and is great with technology, but he looks pretty cool, and I'm curious how he fits into this film. Either way, this trailer looks great, and it both looks stunning and beautiful, and once again, it's epic. And that's also probably thanks to the music. The only thing I dislike is that it looks like Superman might have visible markings from his heat vision, which I think is a little too much, but it doesn't stop this from pretty much being the best trailer. Then after this trailer and the tickets went on sale, we were now in full swing into promotion. I'm talking TV spots, posters, interviews, clips from the film, and a 30-minute screening of the movie all over the world under the Superman World Tour. And that's all the information for now, although I'm pretty sure there's going to be more, cause this is a lot of information. And hell, I already had to update this video, which is why part 2 is taking so long, so let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Alright, with that said, let's get on to my theories. Now,
Controversy.
oh hey,
Controversy.
I haven't heard this since episode 3.
Controversy.
Do I really have to talk about it?
Controversy.
Okay, let's do this. So this film has received some pushback, some from the usual grifters, but the one that I found the most loud and annoying is the Snyder Cult. So, what's the Snyder Cult? Well, let's back it up to 2017 to the release the Snyder Cut movement, a fan campaign to release Zack Snyder's original cut of Justice League, as he had stepped down due to a family tragedy. Now, if you weren't around, it was a huge movement, and eventually in 2021, the film will be released on HBO Max. Needless to say, this movement was a huge success. However, give a mouse a cookie and they'll ask for a glass of milk, because soon release the Snyder Cut turned into Restore the Snyderverse. And once Warner Brothers showed signs they were going to a different direction, and that will eventually become James Gunn being the head of the new DCU, things started to turn very toxic, and thus the Snyder Cult was born. And they've been going out of their way to basically shit on James Gunn, the DCU, the Superman movie, and David Corenswet, to the point where they're not only being loud, but they're also delusional. Like, they don't like Supes getting upset.
People were going to die!
They don't like Supes cracking jokes.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around, I'm doing important stuff.
And they basically just don't like anything about this new Superman. They just want Henry Cavill and Daddy Zack. Now listen, I have no problems against Zack Snyder or Henry Cavill. In fact, I do feel that Henry Cavill was done dirty, but this is getting ridiculous. First of all, the DCEU failed and we're moving on. Secondly, while Henry is a great actor and was a great choice, the problem was that he didn't play Superman. Superman is hopeful, kind, and a beacon of hope, while the DCEU version was dark, solemn, questioning, saving people, which is fine for any other character, but this isn't Superman. But the Snyder Cult believe steadfast that that is Superman, unaware that everything they criticize is Superman. But they're so attached to this version of the character that they cannot accept any other version, which in the end just shows the Snyder Cult is not only sad, but also annoying. Bottom line is, the Snyder Cult just sucks. Anyways, on to something more positive. Now that we've finished a recap of the news, and not only that I have looked into online discussions and forums about this film, but I have developed some theories about the movie, starting with theory number 1. Based on recent information, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl are part of a group basically known as the Justice Gang. Man, that's a stupid name. Either way, the Justice Gang is funded by Lord Tech, and with Superman being arrested by Rick Flag Sr. and the Engineer for interfering in the war with Bavaria, to the projects in Chapter 1, unlike Creature Commandos, Waller, Peacemaker Season 2, and The Authority, which by the way, The Authority is pretty much about screw corporate and government funded super teams. We are going to create our own team, and we answer to no one because we are the highest authority. I believe in this DCU, the superheroes are either government funded or corporate sponsored, and some like Superman aren't, which complements my next theory. Theory number 2, I feel like this story might be a reverse Kingdom Come. For those who aren't familiar, Kingdom Come, written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Alex Ross, tells the story of heroes like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Justice League all retire, leaving it to the next generations. However, the next generation screw things up as they're reckless, selfish, and violent. So, in order, slightly jaded Superman comes out of retirement to show it what it means to be a hero. Now, the reverse of that will be the older generation instead, and they are all corporate owned or government funded and seemingly not well liked. So in comes a younger, optimistic Superman to show them what it means to be a hero. Theory number 3. There's a whole bunch of speculation on the identity of Ultraman, and the theory that I subscribe to is the one where Ultraman is pretty much a clone of Superman who is designed to beat him up, except the clone would degrade and later become Bizarro. Then there's also theory number 4, the identity of the Hammer of Barovia, which thanks to this Twitter user who tweeted out this theory, which makes a lot of sense, is that the Hammer of Barovia is actually Supergirl. The theory goes is that Lex found her first and made her into a weapon by locking her in the armor. And this theory makes a lot of sense to me because she is in the movie, as I pointed out in part 1, but we haven't really seen her. Plus, the hammer is not actually from the comics. Secondly, the hammer is shown to be able to fly, use heat vision, and furthermore, James Gunn has a history of pulling twists like this before, but I guess we'll wait and see when the movie comes out. With that said, Superman flies into theaters July 11, 2025.
They've always been wrong about me. I get scared, but that is being human. And that's my greatest strength.
And that's everything for Superman. Let me know what you think about this Superman movie, and if you're hyped, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, I'm Otto Johnny, and end transmission.